Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
Gotta take the dogs out real quick. I got something really important I want to talk about today. It's been on my mind for a little while. It's about these guys. But we'll talk about that in a few minutes.
Let's begin now.
The thing I want to talk about today is breed-specific legislation. It's a legislation that bans a specific breed or type of dog based on looks or the perception that they might be dangerous. How can we ban dogs based on looks? So there's BSL, breed-specific legislation, in 12 states in America. That's insanity to me. Like, that's insane that we have 12 states. 12 states. It's based on ignorance. It's not a factual thing. Pit bulls are amazing, friendly, family-oriented dogs. They're great family dogs. Are they powerful? Yes. Can they be dangerous? Absolutely. So can every single other breed of dog. To ban one breed, one specific breed, because of this ideology that pit bulls are dangerous and they kill people and they want to kill people, and there's like this you hear like these anomalies, these single incidents. Not the dog, it's the way people own them. It's the way people raise them. Dog fighting and illegal breeding and just irresponsibility when it comes to owning a living being is cut out of our society. There will be no dangerous dogs. There will be no dangerous pit bulls. They will be even more of an anomaly than they already are. It won't happen. It just doesn't make sense that we're blaming this issue on the dogs when it's clearly a society issue. It's the way our society is, and it's really not okay. Like, the way we treat animals, the way we treat animals in this country is ridiculous. It's not okay. There's nothing okay about it. And then we want to ban the animals from specific cities in specific states because we think that's going to solve the issue. That's not going to solve the issue. Because those people that raise those dogs the wrong way, they're going to latch on to another breed, and they're going to use that breed to do exactly what they did with pit bulls. And it's going to come out. It came out. I mean, it's happened before. If you look at history, people were scared of German Shepherds. Then people were scared of Dobermans. Now people are scared of pit bulls. But pit bulls has just been the worst. It's the worst we've ever seen because we're treating them the worst. It's a direct correlation to the way we treat these dogs. These dogs are so mistreated every single day. There's something coming up where there's a pit bull that's been found that's been mistreated so badly it makes me sick to my stomach. But yet we want to look at the dog and say, well, they're the problem. When every single pit bull that I've ever seen that was mistreated has not only bounced back, but was friendly from the jump. Like, from the gate, the dog was friendly. I've had pit bulls that have absolutely no meat on their body. They're just a skeleton. And they're the happiest, friendliest, most They're just the happiest, friendliest dogs. It's insane. It's insane. It's almost like they're grateful for being safe. Of course, there are situations where pit bulls attack people, but that happens with every breed of dog. It's not pit bulls, and it's not the breed. It's not because the dog is a pit bull. It's because the way that dog was raised led up to this incident happening, and you can always see it coming. I think we should have stricter laws on who can own an animal. You're owning a living being. They're very, 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 very intelligent. They're not property, and I know the law. So the law, I don't know if you don't know, the law sees dogs as property. They're personal property. They're not family members. They're personal property. So if your dog is damaged, you can sue for damage of personal property. But the point is that's the reason. I think that's the main reason why dogs are personal property. But forget the law. The law is the law. It's just written by. It's almost like it's written by robots. It's not a moral thing. It's just the law. But in reality, you're owning a living being, a dog that needs things. They need biological fulfillment. But the point is when we have people that are mistreating animals this bad, it really, really, really affects our community. And when we're not addressing the problem, when we're just throwing stuff out there that it might look like pit bulls are the problem, and to a lot of people that don't understand dogs and don't understand what they're looking at, they might actually think that pit bulls are dangerous and pit bulls are scary and pit bulls turn on you and they'll eat you, and if you look at them the wrong way, they'll rip your throat out. It's all bullshit. There's nothing about that that's true. So real quick, I just want to identify some of the things that pit bull advocates advocate for, and some of the things that breed-specific legislation use to do breed-specific legislation. The first one, what I was talking about, it's the owner, not the breed, which I believe 100% is completely true, that it is the owner, not the breed. And I've seen this over and over and over again in my work. So I'm a dog trainer, and I've trained over 100 pit bulls, and every single pit bull that has gotten training has never, ever, ever been an issue. So I completely 100% agree to the fact that it is the owner, not the breed. Now, let me explain a little bit. The breed has been bred for gameness. Gameness is another word for willingness to fight and not give up. So a pit bull will fight to the death. That is bred in the gene pool for a pit bull. Not all pit bulls are game pit bulls. It's very rare to find a pit bull with really intense gameness. Like, I haven't seen many, and the majority of pit bulls are not in no way game. They have no gameness at all. They're sweethearts. They're the sweetest things in the world. They have no willingness to fight and not give up. They feel pain. There's no arguing that pit bulls don't feel pain. That's insane. Pit bulls don't feel pain. That's insane, man. So the CDC did a study this is like the biggest study that they reference with breed-specific legislation. They did a study, I think it was 1997 to 1998, where they studied fatal dog attacks. And in those fatal dog attacks, pit bulls and Rottweilers were the majority of the dogs involved in those fatal dog attacks. In some cases, it was like 60 something percent was pit bulls and Rottweilers that were involved in these fatal attacks. Now, these are fatal dog attacks. So, when you do this study, you have to take into account the fact that we're mistreating these dogs. So, there's a lot of strays. So, I don't know how many of those were stray dogs. Whether they're strays or not, the majority of them are being mistreated. Now, of course, they didn't include how many of these dogs were owned by irresponsible owners. So that goes back to the first fact of it's the owner, not the breed. You're putting these studies in place, but you're not studying where these dogs are coming from. It's a known fact that the majority of mistreated and neglected animals in the country are bully breeds. They're big, scary looking dogs. Pit bulls, Rottweilers, Dobermans. We created this. We did this shit. We put these dogs in horrible, horrible environments, and then we expect them to just act like angels. Like, what the f*** are you thinking? All these studies, until you study dogs that are brought up correctly, that are raised from the ground up the way they're supposed to be. How many dangerous dogs come from that? Until you study that shit, and if there is a study, please, please, please link it below. I would love to see that for real. If there's any other relevant studies you think I should read, please link them below. But until you study dogs that are brought up correctly in the same environment with different breeds and see if any of them become more dangerous than others, then you can't say a dog's dangerous because it's not the dog. If you're saying it's the dog, then you have to study in a controlled environment until you make it a controlled study. Controlled. It's not a fucking study. It's not relevant. It doesn't have any relevance to the argument that pit bulls are dangerous. If you've seen a study that's relevant, or you've seen a study that might be similar to that in a controlled environment, when pit bulls are brought up, do they become dangerous? Do they attack people? No. The answer is no, because I've done that study. I've brought up pit bulls. I've seen 100 pit bulls brought up in controlled environments, and none of them, 0, became dangerous. Goose egg. Gameness is a rarity. It's not a thing that's in every pit bull. Gameness it's an anomaly. Gameness, you don't see it very often. I rarely see gameness. And any pit bull expert will tell you this. They rarely see gameness. It's not a thing that's prevalent. Just tell me what you think about this. I know this was a long rant, but it's really, really important to me, and I just wanted to get this off my chest and maybe start a discussion. If you disagree, disagree. Tell me in the comments. If you agree, let me know. But, you know, we're only going to figure this out by debating. If you're talking shit or you're just one-sided, you're not open-minded, then you're just part of the problem. Here's a few pictures of Chance from the session taken with this camera. Let me show you what it looks like outside and what it sounds like.